It's homework assignment number 5 about switch statements. The task is to make a function time adder that has 4 parameters that are adding one to another and has a finished result in the end. Well, the first what I did, I checked value. It means here the value must have type of data number, and it must be a positive integer. Well, if type of value is equal to number and value more or equal to 1, it returns the value itself. If there is some problem with this, it returns false. The next step was to check a label. Well, the unique condition was that it must have a data type as a string. Well, if type of label is a string, and here I use a switch statement that checks for label and checks if it has the next values like second, minute, hour, days, seconds, minutes, hours, days. If it's good, well, it returns the label itself. It means that there is no problem with this. If not, it returns false by default. After this, I made a function time adder that has 4 parameters. 2 parameters are values and 2 parameters are labels. Well, here the principle was that I have an array, an empty array. I make a lot of operations here. If some of operations return true, I just use an array method push, and I push a right value or a right label to an empty array output. Well, first I check, I use this function expression. Well, if it's okay, if it returns true, we go further, and of course I have to check that it will be singular. If the value is singular, well, it's 1, and the label would be also in singular mode. It should be minute, not minutes. Or for example 1 hour, it shouldn't be 1 hours. Well, I check it and I write if value 1 is equal to 1 and label ends with letter S, well, it returns false, else it returns the value itself. Or in any way it will return false. Of course, I check label. If check label, it's okay. I push the label itself. If not, it returns false. And of course, I made it for value 1 for label 1, and I repeat it for value 2 and for label 2. And I can, of course, in the end, I return the whole array output with all parameters that are in the end field and returns to us false or some two values. Let's just check it. I click run. Here 1 minute 10 hours, it's okay. Here 1 minute, of course it has to be in singular mode, it has to be 1 minute. Well, here it prints out false. 15 hours, it's okay. Here 15 hours 150 days, it's okay. Here I have 360 seconds and 1 hour. It's false here, of course, because the value here isn't of type number. Its data type is string. Of course, it's false.